I'm Camden Walker for the Capital Weather Gang. Anytime you need us, we're at WashingtonPost.com/weather. My PM update is out here at the very top, and we've got another cold week on tap. Going to stay below average, it looks like, for the most part. And wind is going to become an issue later this week, especially, but even some breeziness in the early part of our week with some gusts. Maybe tomorrow, 15, 20 miles per hour once or twice can't be ruled out. So rain or snow is around. Snow accumulation is expected. You've probably been seeing it on radar. Much of this is not reaching the ground, but there are some reports here of snowflakes. Good evening, David. Thanks so much for tuning in on Facebook. Malloy, McCant, Magai, and Gon, thank you very much. I appreciate seeing you and Kenny as well. I'm Kendall Walker for the Capital Weather Gang. Anytime you need us, we're at WashingtonPost.com/weather, and we have some snow, some rain showers, flurries, spits of rain on the radar tonight. Maybe another chance for a rain or snow shower Wednesday night, Thursday into Thursday night, maybe. But I'll show you in a moment how rain accumulation, moisture accumulation is going to be pretty low this week. Temperature staying below average in this animation. Very cool colors here of 30s, if not around 40 degrees, much of this week. Wind chills will be around at times, sometimes in the 20s to maybe at best some days around the 32-degree freezing mark. So another below average week is coming our way. And let's look ahead to precipitation patterns this week. Sparse, if any. Maybe some spits and flurries tonight, but rain amounts, moisture amounts, this is the kind of liquid equivalent of even if we do see some snowflakes this week. It is very light to none. Maybe favorite areas on even tonight are the Delmarva, maybe seeing a tenth of an inch of snow. That's kind of a dusting coating, maybe in southern Maryland and parts of the Delmarva. And I think for much of our area, we see very little accumulation of any rain or snow at all this week, but we're going to keep an eye on things. There are some intermittent signals that we see some rain or snow Wednesday night, Thursday nights. That is very light, slight chances there. And then again, some slight chances again this upcoming weekend, but nothing imminent, nothing to ring preparedness to tell you to prepare for, to plan around, no alarm bells at all. Weather worries are looking fairly minimal so far this upcoming week, including clouds, which are minimal Monday, Tuesday, maybe a little bit more cloud cover on Wednesday. Late week turns a little windier, a little cloudier. We need to watch wind levels on Thursday, if not Friday as well. Gusts of 30 to 40 miles per hour are possible. There is a slight signal from a couple of the weather modeling systems that we could see some wind gusts that are strong enough to cause wind damage. So we'll keep you posted on that. LA8 Field Notes Captain, thanks so much for tuning in. Rita McGill, love seeing you on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, X, and YouTube tonight on all four of our social media channels. For the Capital Weather Gang, I'm Camden Walker, making sure I'm catching up on all your questions and comments for our weekly 20-minute Sunday Sunset live chat. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving, by the way. Peter, hello. Gary, hello. In Maine. And Rick, hurricane season indeed over as of yesterday, November 30th. Rick, I just double-checked the National Hurricane Center and the Climate Prediction Center to make sure there were no tropical hazards coming our way unexpectedly here at the very end of hurricane season that ended officially yesterday, November 30th, but no signs of any problems in the tropics. William, good to see you again as well. Thanks for tuning in from Facebook. And Paul, I'm glad to have made it as well. TSA did not like one piece of my equipment, but we made it. All is good here. And Michigan and lake effect snow, William. Doesn't often have a direct correlation, but to the DC area snowfall levels. But some of that, is hitting the western slopes of the tall Allegheny Mountains in the Appalachians. So we do have some snowfall, maybe in West Virginia, focused at times intermittently this week. I think ski resorts will be happy there. Laura, good seeing you. And Rick, you might see a snowflake or two there in Fairfax. Keep me posted. And really good seeing you, Parasite on YouTube. And TJ, hello on X. Good to see you as well. And Numbers and Adhere and DC and Patters, good to see you on Instagram. All right, let's move into looking ahead for the drought that, precipitation remaining kind of limited this week. Seasonally forecasted, it's expected to persist our drought. We're in moderate to severe drought, and the oranges and deeper oranges here, kind of in the middle of the scale. So conditions are not good. What caused this? We've had a deficit of rain, a lack of rain over at least the last 60 days. And here in the darker browns, percentage-wise, we've seen 25, maybe 50% of what we'd normally see over the last 2 months. And this rainfall deficit by counties, you can see 4 or 5 inches are needed just to get back to break even levels. So that is something, that's not going to come very quickly overnight. Greetings, Camden. Good to see you. Jim, thanks so much. We have our winter outlook, I think, is now out, and our seasonal forecast contest is also out at washingtonpost.com/weather. Thanks so much for tuning in. And science teacher, good seeing you. And Alejo and Capine and science teacher number one and DB, good to see you as well. And we've got Dwayne holding on the snow until you get back from Florida on the 11th. We'll see. This weekend has a very slight signal that's been very intermittent, but nothing worth planning around at this point. We see, intermittent signals for snow Wednesday night, Thursday night, very light, very slight chances for a snowflake or two, and then maybe again this weekend, but nothing to plan around just yet. Worth keeping an eye on, but really, it's inconsistent, so therefore we none of us can really plan around it. We can just monitor the latest information as we go, in the 4 weather modeling updates every day. Hello, Charlene. Good to see you very much. Thanks for tuning in for our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. I'm Camden Walker for the Capital Weather Gang. Anytime you need us, we're at WashingtonPost.com/weather. Catherine and Wilda and Amber and Kaylee, thanks so much for tuning in. And Brown Eyed Girl, good to see you as well in F8. All right. So elsewhere, we've got the kind of looking ahead at temperatures for maybe a small signal for below average temperatures continuing into next work week. And then for precipitation, a slight signal for above average precipitation next work week. So hopefully that will pan out. So I know we all could use a little bit of rain to kind of get rid of these rainfall deficits and the longer term drought in the region. It is going to be a slow process. And now that hurricane season is over, we can't depend on any tropical moisture really coming our way from a tropical system in the Atlantic. I'm Cameron Walker with my PM update at the very top. Gave you the radar images there. I have I think a slight update to the radar here as well, but seeing some snowflakes, little to no accumulation expected in the region tonight. Maybe favorite areas to see a dusting or coating are over near Salisbury, the Delmarva, Southern Maryland, that general vicinity. But if you see anything on grasses, please let us know. The road should be fine tonight. Temperatures are well above freezing. But it's nice conversational snow. Maybe we'll get a little more conversational snow Wednesday night, Thursday nights. We could see a couple rain snow showers as well. And then again this weekend, we need to watch maybe snowflakes want to fly a little bit as well. But we're not expecting accumulation or impacts as it looks now. We're just trying to monitor and keep you from being surprised when you see our first wintry precipitation falling of the season. It can take some of us by surprise, and we don't want surprises, even if it's a good surprise or a bad surprise, right? Wind tomorrow is somewhat limited, but still a gust or two around 15, 20 miles per hour can't be ruled out. Wind becomes a greater concern potentially middle to later part of this week. We could see additional clouds accompanying wind gusts Thursday, Friday of 30 to 40 miles per hour. So borderline, if we see some wind damage from high wind gusts potentially at the end of this week. So just keep this in the back of your mind if you are putting up or have put up your decorations and have other loose items around the yard, something to keep in mind as we get to the later part of this week. Temperatures again below average this week, and we could poke above average once or twice, maybe into this next weekend if there is no storm system that really wants to develop. That's kind of been kind of mixed signals and intermittent signals of a rain snow system for this upcoming weekend. So nothing worth planning around just yet. But overall, prepare for more cool temperatures, wind chills in the 20s to around the freezing mark, maybe 32 degrees at times. So thermometer wise on the air temperatures, maybe generally eyeing the upper 30s to mid 40s this week. It is going to be cool, but at least sunny for the early part of the week, and then clouds and maybe some wind by the middle and later part of this week to consider in your planning purposes. Elsewhere, we've got precipitation to examine. It is looking sparse. Intermittent chances this week may not amount to much of anything around town, around the I-81 and I-95 corridor. Maybe east of I-95, over near the Delmarva, east of the Bay. We could see snowflakes and raindrops add up to a little bit of something, but little to no snow accumulation expected. But if there were to be a dusting, or a coating of a tenth of an inch of snow. Even tonight, it could be over around Salisbury, Maryland, and portions of the Delmarva. Bridges, good to see you. Beignet and Fatal and Be Geary and Mutants and Hunter Wolves. I don't see a half inch of rain coming anytime soon for snow or rain for that matter. Sean, good to see you on Instagram. Thanks so much for tuning in. Virginia MCK 20853 zip code had a little bit of snowflakes. That's great. So little to no accumulation expected with some of this that we're looking at on radar tonight. But it's nice to look at a little bit. We see a few snowflakes flying, few reports of snow. Conversational, polite, little to no impact for the roads. Actually, zero impact for the roads are expected, but maybe a few flakes are accumulating on grass or natural surfaces, non-artificial, non-man-made surfaces. Good to see you, Amy and CP. And we've got Fish and Sean. Silver Spring has some flakes as well. That's excellent to hear that report. Hello, Lisa and GU. Let's see. Yep, we're in the DC area for doing their 20-minute live Q&A at washingtonpost.com/weathers. Anytime you can find us, GU. Thanks for tuning in on YouTube. And we could be a little cold this week, and some of that cold air coming in from the Midwest could amplify our cold air at the middle and later part of this week with some wind gusts, maybe 35, 45 miles per hour, cannot be ruled out, kind of Thursday, Friday time frame. April, yes, if you have to go outside for recess this week as being a teacher, it will be a little bit challenging at times, but at least we have some sun for the early part of this week, and breezes are a little more controlled early week compared to late week wind, potentially. Holiday spirit, Olivia, that's the way to spin positive with some of this January-like temperature regime. It feels very festive, winter season, right? That's great. So Olivia is feeling like very seasonally appropriate with some of this cold air and snowflakes flying. That's great. I love that. And Paul, I think you have a little bit of time. I don't see plowable snowplow needs just yet. No, honestly, no snowplow or snowblower snow is with any confidence in the forecast for the foreseeable future, but we will keep you posted. We will, monitor things that are intermittent signals, but honestly, a few flakes here and there don't look like more than a dusting or coating as it stands now. Our next chance maybe Wednesday night, Thursday night, and then again maybe this weekend, but shovelable, no. Plowable, no. Snowblower, no. That's out of that range so far, where these are very light amounts, if anything, develops at all for snowflakes, maybe mixed with rain as well. So it's typical of bigger snowstorms in DC to see consistent weather models spitting out larger amounts, and we're not seeing any of that for intensity of snow or amounts of snow at all. So we are on standby and monitoring the latest weather models as we go forward this week. All right, Jay and Pickerel wanted a little warmer this week, and after that it can snow. So I like the choosing. We wanted to kind of January weather maybe in January. I like that, JM. Thanks for tuning in from Instagram. And LG and Allthump, thank you very much. And Kristen and Schleer and Joyce Sims, thank you so much for tuning in on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and X. MBM hoping there on YouTube. Thanks so much for tuning in for conversational snow this week. Maybe again after tonight, we could see flakes fly Wednesday night, Thursday night, amounting to little, if anything. Maybe some more flakes and snow mix this weekend, but very low confidence and amounts, if any, are still looking pretty low. So, Carl, that's most kind. Good to see you there in Romney. Hopefully your Thanksgiving was great. Thanks for tuning in from Facebook. And William, appreciate you. And David, I love the hot chocolate and hot tea idea. Good. It's good for this weather. You're right, indeed. And then Kevin, I don't see totally sustained cold in the near term, but let's look ahead a little bit for you because there is a slight signal next week, lower, lowish probability, but a slight lean toward below average temperatures here in the blue and a slight lean for above average precipitation next week. So this time of year, that kind of is where you want to be for a potential slight snow signal for next week. So we'll keep you posted. I mean, it's not unheard of when you see a little below average temperature mixing with a little above average signal for precipitation. That some wintry precipitation could develop in our region, but it's not a clear signal with any high confidence or high amounts of wintry precipitation as it stands now. But we love watching these signals with you. We love delivering what we know, what we don't know to you. And right now, there's nothing of a wintry impact nature to plan around or let alone ring any alarm bells for you. Good and bad surprises we're trying to avoid. So, yes, I'll just report to you snowflakes could fly tonight with little to no accumulation. Snowflakes could fly again with some rain Wednesday night, Thursday night with little to no accumulation. And the same for this weekend. If anything develops, so far it looks under control. But we have seen, things develop with medium-term warnings. So it's worth keeping a eye on our blog at WashingtonPost.com/weather as we go through this week, just to make sure we have some confidence about the weekend forecast and whether or not we see a rain or snow system develop for this weekend. AR Rock, Brian, Danette, BSU, and Riggs, thanks for tuning in on Instagram. Appreciate seeing you, and Alexandra and Spencer and Swim Girl and Pearl and Ardonda and Epago. All right. Appreciate seeing you. And Akadudi. Thanks so much for tuning in. Good to see you. I'm glad it is warm where you are on YouTube. And Carl, appreciate seeing you. You're very kind. Very kind. We're on YouTube, X, Instagram, and Facebook. I'm Camden Walker on the air. 4 more minutes for our 20-minute live Sunday sunset chat. We do these every week. Really good to see you. Anytime you need us, we're at WashingtonPost.com/weather. Looking ahead to next week, we were talking about a slight lean slight lean of the atmosphere for below average temperatures. And the atmosphere is also doing a slight lean toward above average precipitation. So we could see maybe a slight signal for wintry precipitation, but that's a stretch. I mean, I just wanted to give you the general outlook for next week, but are there any, high confidence, medium or high confidence rain, snow chances in the next week? No, is the quick answer. My PM update is at the very top there, talking about the snowflakes tonight. Forecast at a glance showing you a very below average chilly week again this week. Wind tomorrow, generally under control, light to moderate at worst. Maybe a gust or two out of the northwest of 15 to 20 miles per hour, creating wind chills often in the 20s tomorrow, despite air temperatures being in upper 30s to maybe low 40s for the high temperatures tomorrow. And here's radar tonight, watching a little bit of precipitation, spitting rain and snow in the region. This is conversational, no impact expected on the roads. Maybe a couple flakes stick to the grass if we're lucky. If anywhere has a light, dusting or coating, tenth of an inch of snow, might be over in the Delmarva this evening and overnight in Salisbury, but that again is below a 10% chance. I'm just grasping at straws for you, winter weather lovers. So I hope you can appreciate that nothing in the forecast is high amounts or high confidence at all for the upcoming week. But we will keep you posted, of course. At least for snow lovers and cold weather lovers, you've got what you wish for partially with temperatures below average. These are January-like temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s more often than not this week. And we have to watch for clouds building and maybe some wind building at the end of this week. Can't rule out 35, maybe 45 mile per hour gusts Thursday, Friday. So we need to be careful. That's getting toward a threshold of maybe some wind damaging gusts for those decorations or other loose items outside. We need to just watch that for you and keep you posted when that's higher confidence as we get closer. All right. Looking ahead at precipitation, it's very scant, very intermittent chances this week, really adds up to very little. And that's unfortunate because we have a drought in the region and a rainfall deficit for sure. It is continuing. We need this, more rain, more persistent rain. Well, we're not going to get it in the short term. It looks like overall a pretty dry week, and that's going to continue for the foreseeable future. The drought is generally expected to persist. Good to see you, Lisa and Paul. Thanks so much. All right. I think 1 more minute from me. Let me know if you have any other questions or comments. I am Camden Walker, enjoying this dry, wintry air. And then guitars on. It likes the conversational amounts of snow that we're seeing that are of no impact. And then Paul, you're most welcome. I appreciate let's see. Good to see you. Daily forecast last week. I'll have to think about that. But yes, I did indeed have an extra forecast last week. All right, Vegan on X wants some snowmen and snow levels that are higher than we're currently forecasting. But at least we're seeing some conversational flakes in the region, and that could continue into tonight. Excuse me, to off and on into tonight with the radar here, kind of showing some flakes flying, but roads are fine. Maybe a couple patches of grassy accumulation, and then maybe some flakes again Wednesday night, Thursday night. We'll watch it for this weekend. Everything is low amounts and low confidence as it stands now. So snow lovers need to just stay tuned, since we're just kind of eyeing some signals that aren't really materializing into anything of a snowstorm system for the upcoming foreseeable future. But of course, we will keep you posted at WashingtonPost.com/weather. For the Capital Weather Gang, I'm Camden Walker. This is our 20-minute Sunday Sunset Live Q&A that I'll do again next week. This has been my 20 minutes. Good to see you, DC and BP. And Agnes, great Thanksgiving. Hope yours was as well. And waiting for the big snow, Charlene. Not in the cards just yet, but we will keep you posted. And David, I'll see you next week. Appreciate seeing you. And BP Marshall and Jay and Matt. All right, this has been a lovely time seeing you on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and X. For the WashingtonPost.com/weather team at Capital Weather Gang, we will see you next Sunday for 20 minutes then at sunset time, again, right around 4:45, our earliest sunsets of the year. Take care for now and stay warm this week. Below average temperatures are again on tap. Bye for now.